If you had invested in BYD just 5 years ago, you would have returned 561% on that investment. But I believe this is just the very beginning. Why do I believe that? Well, because BYD just crushed 2021 with its electric car sales. The fact that it built 6 battery factories in 2021. And this is just the very tip of the iceberg. It has now signed a deal with Toyota to build electric cars for them, SsangYong as well, and next up is Nio. Hello my friends, welcome to the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Fantastic to have you here all on the channel. I'm coming to you here from Newcastle in Australia. It's about 2 hours north of Sydney, right on the coast. It's a really nice place to be. I just want to say a big shout out to supporters on Patreon of the channel. You make this channel work. I really appreciate your support. I'll put a link in the description below. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter of the channel, you can do so as well. Now, I just want to say a big happy Christmas to all of you. Welcome to the channel for all the new subscribers and welcome back to everyone else. Now, for those of you who don't know, Nio is a Chinese car manufacturer. They're fairly new. They started around about 5-6 years ago. But this year, they've started to sell around about 10,000 electric cars per month. But they are not BYD. In fact, it's in some ways the opposite to BYD. They sell cars in the premium sector. The average selling price of a Nio vehicle this year was $65,000 US. That's even higher than the average selling price for companies like Mercedes, BMW and Audi, quite a bit higher in fact. And it has led to the perception in China that Nio vehicles are more prestigious than Mercedes and BMWs. So things have started to change. But now Nio wants to create a sub-brand. And the word on the street is, and from BYD and Nio, that BYD will manufacture these cars for Nio. So what does that mean? It means that BYD has hit an incredible record this year for 6 months in a row, 6 straight months. They increased their electric car sales by 10,000 every month. They've transformed their company from a 50% ICE, 50% hybrid battery electric car company to being almost exclusively battery-powered cars and plug-in hybrids in the space of 12 months, very, very quickly. Now they're planning on building around about 1.5 million electric vehicles in 2022. That would make them potentially the second largest electric vehicle manufacturer in the world. But remember, those figures don't include the fact that they will be providing batteries for many different companies. Right now, they provide batteries for Ford, for the Mustang Mach-E. They provide batteries for various other companies. However, they'll be building the entire car for Toyota, the entire car for Nio, and apparently potentially the same thing for SsangYong. So, BYD now are becoming potentially a mainstream automaker because remember, this is in light of the fact that BYD just began selling cars in Australia, in Norway, and they have around 20 countries on their radar for 2022 where they plan to be selling them. They've already started selling in Brazil, a number of different South American countries, India, the Philippines, Southeast Asia. BYD is extremely bullish and aggressive on entering a swathe of new markets next year. Now, apparently Nio's staff members have recently appeared frequently at BYD, and the two sides are planning on a business cooperation to build Nio's new sub-brand, all of which the cars will be made by BYD. Now, the reports that I've seen haven't provided more information on Nio's sub-brand or how this partnership will work. But we do know it will use BYD's proprietary Blade batteries. Don't know about the Blade batteries, don't know what advantages they have. I'll put a link in the description below, or a couple of links to my videos about BYD's Blade battery and why this battery is a game-changing battery. Now, remember, another agreement recently signed was BYD's cooperation with Tesla to provide Tesla with Blade batteries as well. I think potentially for Tesla's Model A or Model 2, smaller, maybe $25,000 priced vehicle. I've made a video about that as well. I'll put a link in the description below to the Tesla Model A. Now, this report that spoke about BYD and Nio collaborating on this new car brand for Nio, said that in the past few years, with the rapid growth of electric vehicles, global sourcing chiefs from nearly every single car company in the world have visited CATL's headquarters in Fujian province in China to look for battery supply. Now, the interesting thing is that in spite of that, currently CATL are building a gigafactory right near Tesla's gigafactory in Shanghai to provide Tesla with 70 gigawatt hours of batteries. Now, the issue here, though, is that at a time when CATL is running low on capacity, it is placing tough demands on its partners. And I actually talked about how the same thing's happening for BYD. They're getting so much demand for their batteries from internally for their own cars, for other car manufacturers as well, that they've actually increased prices by 20%. Now, when Nio was in financial trouble in 2019, CATL demanded that the car maker pay it first before they would ship the batteries. At one point, a Nio executive took out proof of property before convincing the company to ship the batteries. Now, the report said that people familiar with the matter said that Nio's CEO, William Li, basically says he doesn't really want to work with CATL anymore thanks to what happened. And this is what he said. He could care less about CATL's offer of a few cents more per kilowatt hour of battery than other battery makers, and that the priority was to simply get a good supply of batteries. Now, assuming Nio sells, say, around about 100,000 vehicles of their new sub-brand next year, which I think they could probably sell a lot more than that because they're going to be priced at a lower cost than Nio's current vehicles, and also taking into account that the batteries that Nio puts in its battery swap stations, which they have around 750 of those swap stations in China right now. If you don't know what those are, you can drive in. It's like a service station. You drive in, it takes 3 minutes for the machine to remove your battery and put in a new fully charged battery. So in other words, 3-minute petrol fuel stop. But if you add these numbers together, it would mean that BYD would probably supply around 10 gigawatt hours of batteries for these new cars for Nio next year. Now, Nio confirmed it would launch a sub-brand to enter the mass market when it reported second quarter earnings on August the 12th, 2021. Nio will enter the mass market, as in globally, through this new brand. Now, this is what was said by Nio's CEO. The Nio brand has a similar relationship with this new brand as Lexus has with Toyota and Audi has with Volkswagen. Now, Lee said that Nio, through the mass market brand, would hope to be lower in price than Tesla, but the experience will surpass the latter. Now, right now, the average price of all Nio models currently on sale is more than RMB 400,000, around about 70,000 US dollars, quite a bit higher than Tesla's vehicles. Now, in November, BYD's installed battery supply in China was around about 3.5 gigawatt hours, with a market share of about 17% in China, ranking second only to CATL. Now, on October the 21st, a source close to BYD was cited as saying that the company had received a 10 gigawatt hour order for batteries from Tesla for their LFP batteries, the Blade battery. Now, currently, the standard range Model 3 and Model Y produced at Tesla's Shanghai plant use LFP batteries from CATL. However, Tesla have hinted that its US factory and future European factories will use LFP batteries for both the standard range Model 3 and Model Y, the person said, saying that BYD, which already has a factory in the US producing batteries, by the way, not just producing buses, but also producing batteries, has a good chance of supplying Tesla in the United States with these LFP batteries. So this would mean Tesla would have a fifth battery supplier in addition to CATL, Panasonic, LG Chem, its own battery supply as well. However, what does this say about BYD? Well, it says BYD is collaborating with everyone, whether that be supplying more batteries, building more cars. And what I think this means is that it's possible BYD could actually deploy close to 2 million vehicles next year, if you include its collaborations with Toyota, Nio, SsangYong, Tesla, and who knows who else. Thanks for watching the video. Look forward to seeing you again on the next one. Bye-bye.